Hello everyone, welcome to Big Friendly Grub. I hope you're safe and well. Now, while under this coronavirus lockdown, pandemic, everything that's going on, a lot of us have been stuck in the house and we've been trying to use the time constructively. We've all been trying to get buff things and work out and do stuff like that, which is great, which is a great use of your time. But in these times, it's still important to remember to treat yourself.
Treat yourself 2011.
And if you've watched the channel before, you know I am partial to a nice tart. And by tarts, I mean red onion and feta cheese tarts, or Bakewell tarts, or pecan pies, or pumpkin pies, because no matter what the name says, they are tarts because the Americans get it wrong. Basically, rule of thumb is if it's got a base and a top, it's a pie. If it's got a pastry base, it's a tart. And if it's got a pastry top, then it's just a stew with a lid. I have very strong feelings about this. But regardless of how hard you're working or working out during this time, it's still important to treat yourself. And that's what I want to show you today, an awesome treat, an awesome tart that you can make. It is a double chocolate tart. So we're going to have chocolate pastry with a magnificent chocolate ganache filling, and it's going to be so good. I can't wait to show you this one, so let's get started. Yeah, let's do it! Sorry. So first things first, we're going to need our pastry. Usually I would do this all by hand, but because it's exceptionally warm today, and that means my hands are really warm, that means I am not going to be able to keep the butter cold enough to make decent pastry. So that's why I'm going to use my food processor today with the dough blade in it. That means I can rely on the cold dead touch of a machine instead of using my warm hands. So first things first, we're going to need 250 grams of plain flour. I've finally got hold of plain flour. It's taken 8 weeks, but I've managed to get hold of some. I've been able to get hold of some bread flour, been able to get hold of self-raising flour, but not plain flour. So that means I am now good to make some decent pastry, hopefully. And because this is going to be a lovely chocolate pastry, I've got 50 grams of cocoa powder here and 50 grams of icing sugar for a bit of sweetness against that bitter dark chocolate cocoa powder. So in that goes as well. And I'm going to need a dash of salt, not loads, but always season your pastry a bit. I'm going to need 150 grams worth of cold unsalted butter. Really cold, fridge cold, diced into cubes. Usually this is what I would do with my hands and rub it in with my fingertips, but because my hands are hot today, because it is hot, that means I'm using this. And we're also going to need 2 egg yolks as well. Pop those in. And I'm just going to start this off. We're going to need some milk in it, but I'm going to start this off first before I start adding the milk in, because I want to judge how the consistency of this pastry is. I don't want to make it too wet too soon. So I've got the power. Right, we're definitely going to need some liquid in there, so I'm going to take out the stopper and I'm going to pop in a tablespoon's worth of milk at a time, hopefully not getting it everywhere. So that's 1 tablespoon and back on. I think I'm probably going to need another 2 or 3 tablespoons worth of milk, so I'm going to add this in and I will come back to you when it's become a lovely consistency and I've not got milk all over my work surface. Oh man. So after 3 tablespoons worth of milk, you can see that it's come together well into a dough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish this out, get out any loose bits and just finish it off by hand, because by this point the butter is already all combined into it. Right, I've got the pastry out of the stand mixer, so I'm just going to finish this off by hand, just bring it all together, make sure there's no real flecks of flour and butter and stuff in here. It won't take long, I don't want to overwork it. There we go. So you can see now that has become a lovely smooth chocolatey dough. That looks amazing, it smells so good. You can smell that cocoa powder in it. So this is now going to need an hour in the fridge to rest, because it needs that anyway, but especially when it's so warm. Got myself some baking parchment, I don't know why I'm saying it like that, baking parchment, love. Got myself some baking parchment. So going to just wrap this up, squash it down into a lovely parcel. And as an aside, if you want to find out how to make sweet short crust pastry by hand, then go back and watch my Bakewell tart video, because I show you how to make it from scratch by hand in that video, and also that Bakewell tart was really good, so I suggest you make that. So into the fridge for an hour with this. Right, so it has been 1 hour and we've had some time for our pastry to rest, and me as well. So let's take this out of its paper. Then we need to get this rolled out to be a bit bigger than our tart tin, flan tin, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to take our pastry, put down some flour, stop it sticking, and I'm gradually going to roll this out, constantly turning it, try and get it as round as possible. So I reckon that will do nicely. Now I've got to try and get it up and over onto my tart tin, which is always the fun part. So gently bring this up and over as best as I can. Please don't break, 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 please don't break. Did not break, but I've still got to get it pressed into the tin. It's so delicate, it is breaking away in places, but to be honest, it's breaking away in the right places, which is around the top of here. A delicate pastry. It's beautiful, it smells amazing. You've got to be so careful with it. I think it's just the fact that it's so warm today. The butter's a bit softer than it would usually be. That is all lined. I've had to do a couple of patching jobs just on the bottom, but that's fine. It's looking good. I'm going to take my rolling pin and just do this over the top, and that allows me to take the excess away. Now before we bake this needs to go back into the fridge to rest for at least another 10 minutes, probably 15, so it's chilled and will keep its shape as best as it can when it goes into the oven. Right, after 15 minutes our pastry case has had some time to chill in the fridge. It's firmed up nicely. So I'm going to poke some holes in the bottom here. This is going to stop it from puffing up while we blind baking it. And then we're going to line this with some baking paper. Easiest way to do this is place that in there all around the sides, and then we're going to pour it in our baking beans. Now if you don't have baking beans, then actual dried beans like chickpeas or something like that will also work. Just make sure you've got a lot of them, or even rice will work as well. You could fill this up with rice and that will do just as good a job. So now this goes into the oven at 200 degrees C for 15 minutes. I'm going to put it straight onto a baking tray in there so that the bottom will crisp up nicely. So we'll come back to that in 15 minutes. Right, after 15 minutes this can come out carefully. We can take away our baking beans. Then this can just go back into the oven for another 5 minutes. I don't know why I'm gesturing with 5, I've got a glove on. But this can go back in for another 5 minutes just to finish off blind baking. So after another 5 minutes that has finished blind baking. And that looks really good. That has baked up nicely. So this can now go cool down for a bit while we get on with our beautiful chocolate ganache filling for our double chocolate tart. Yes! So our chocolate ganache filling is actually fairly straightforward. What you're going to want to start off with is a decent sized pan over a medium-low heat, and add in 400 millilitres of double cream, or heavy cream if you're in the US. So we're just going to let this heat up. We don't want it boiling or anything like that. We just want it to be nice and warm so that will help melt our chocolate for our ganache. I would say just gently stir it just so it doesn't sit on the bottom the whole time and you risk burning your cream. Right, the cream's had about 10 minutes heating up over this medium-low heat, and you can see there's now and you might be able to see that there's some steam and stuff coming up off of this, which is probably about the right sort of point to bring this off, because otherwise it might start to simmer and I don't really want to get it to that point. So I'm going to turn off the heat and get this off. Then you're going to want 375 grams of dark chocolate. I've got 70% cocoa here, a nice dark chocolate. And I'm just going to pour our cream all over our chocolate chips here. You could use chocolate bars chopped into chunks, that is absolutely fine. I'm using chocolate chips because that's what my delivery driver bought me for my shopping. I did ask for chocolate bars, but all they had was this because lockdown. Stir that all together, melt it all together, and I'm also just going to add in 45 grams worth of honey for a bit of natural sweetness in there, because the dark chocolate is quite bitter and we do want some sweetness in there. So bring that all together. So that's combined together really nicely. Look how dark and deep a colour that is. That is beautiful. Then we're just going to get in 95 grams worth of unsalted butter just to melt that in. Now that butter's all combined into that chocolate and cream, and that looks beautiful. Look how lovely and glossy and silky that is. That is silkier than Michael Bublé's underwear. Don't know why Michael Bublé specifically. He just strikes me as someone who would have a pair of silk undies. So we need to act to get this into our chocolate tart case. So let's move this out of the way. Bring back in our tart case, which has had some time to cool. And let's just drizzle in that beautiful filling into there. Just let it ooze in. That is some sexy chocolate going on there. Then with all our chocolate in, we just need to even it out. So let's give it a good tapper. get rid of any air bubbles. Now, unfortunately, all we have to do now is be patient and just let this set completely in the fridge. Who knows how long it will take? It's quite a warm day. There's quite a lot of stuff in my fridge, so it might be that it takes a little while. It could be like 1 hour, could be 2. I'm just gonna let it set completely, and we will come back, cut into it and give it a go, because I can't wait. It's gonna be magnificent. Hello, it's been a good couple of hours now since I left this to set in the fridge, and I'm hoping it's set now. I think it is. It feels it, it looks it, and you can see I've already got it out of the tin, and it looks fantastic. That's set really well. The pastry is looking really good, and now I just can't wait any longer to try and cut into it and see how it's turned out. So I really hope it's set all the way through. It does feel like it. So not gonna wait any longer. Gonna get in here, gonna get me some Tart. That's my Tart song that I made up. Let's go in here. Oh, that's gone through ever so nicely. How big of a piece? Probably not too big of a bit, because I feel this is going to be really, 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 really rich. That's a big bit. That's bigger than I imagined, but oh, I can just see how smooth that ganache is from here. That looks incredible. Oh, that is so smooth and glossy, and the lighting is not good enough to get across how beautiful that is, but that has come out really, really well. That is set absolutely perfectly. That looks fantastic. I'm not going to muck about. I'm going to get this onto a plate. Okay, let's not muck about. Let's give this a go. That looks so good. There we go. With slightly better lighting, you can see how smooth that ganache is in that tart. One double chocolate tart. Done. It just looks so good. The texture of it is so smooth, it is ridiculous. This is one of my favourite tarts to make, just because the outcome is so satisfying, let alone the taste. You know, forget the taste, it just looks so good. And you've got that beautiful chocolate pastry as well, which has come out really well. It was so fragile because of the warmth, but it came out really, really well. So this just looks so good. I can't wait any longer, but I'm just going to dig in. I'm going to go over here, get a nice slice of that, and it gives me some of that pastry as well. Hello. Oh, you're going to be naughty. Mate, that ganache is so smooth. It's so smooth that Santana sang about it. It is brilliant. Oh, that's so nice. I always feel awkward when I get like excited about stuff that I've cooked, because it feels like I'm taking my own home. But that is so good. It really is. That ganache is just beautiful, and you just get like extra chocolatiness from the pastry as well, which is really light. It's really, really light. It's nice and thin. It's not overpowering. It's not like trying to chew like a big block of pastry while you're there. It is so good. I'm going to go for another bit up this end with a bigger bit of the pastry. This is so worth making. It really is. And the ganache isn't that hard. It's just pouring hot cream over chocolate, letting it melt, and then just combining the butter and the honey. It's really not that hard. I think the hardest part is the pastry. With that, if you don't fancy going through the effort of doing the pastry, you could just use a normal pastry. It won't be double chocolate, but buy a shop bought pastry, use that instead of making it, and you're laughing. And to try and lift this even further, which I wanted to do but I couldn't get hold of, I wanted to put a layer of black cherry jam in the bottom of it to give it an even extra bigger, rich oomph to it. But I didn't have any, I couldn't get hold of any. So I just did it as it is, and it's still really good like that. So I'm not going to talk any longer. This is too good to let it sit around and just talk about. I'm going to go finish it off. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. As with everything, if you like the video, like it. If you're enjoying what I'm doing, if you're enjoying the videos, if you're finding them useful, subscribe to the channel so you can get hold of more of them when they come live. I try and do them once a week. But otherwise, thank you for watching as always. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, stay well, and I will see you next time on Big Friendly Grub. Take care. Bye.